Brazil versus Morocco is set to be one of the most compelling opening fixtures of the 2026 FIFA World Cup, played under the floodlights of MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. The iconic venue carries a seated capacity of just over 82,500 and has undergone a full renovation to meet FIFA's requirements, providing the grandest possible stage for what promises to be a Group C blockbuster. Carlo Ancelotti is expected to set Brazil up in a 4-2-3-1, with Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes as the double pivot in midfield. The probable starting 11 reads: Alisson in goal, Danilo at right back, Marquinhos and Gabriel Magalhães as the central defensive partnership, Alex Sandro at left back, Casemiro and Bruno Guimaraes screening the defense, Rafinha on the right, Lucas Paquetá as the number 10, Vinicius Jr. on the left, and Matheus Cunha or Endrick leading the line. Neymar, Brazil's all-time record goalscorer, is not expected to be fit in time after sustaining a calf injury, leaving Ancelotti to rely on a formidable but Neymar-less front line. Morocco will likely line up in a 4-2-3-1 as well. Yassine Bounou between the sticks, Achraf Hakimi at right back, Issa Diop and Noussair Mazraoui in central defense, Anas Salah Eddine at left back, Sofiane Amrabat and Neil El Ainaoui as the midfield shield, Brahim Diaz, Bilal El Kanous, and Ismail Saibari behind striker Ayoub El Kaabi. Morocco have suffered a significant double injury blow with both Naif Aguerd and Abde Ezzalzouli ruled out of the entire tournament, and a late fitness decision is still expected on Mazraoui following a shoulder problem picked up against Norway. In terms of head-to-head history, these two nations have crossed paths just 3 times. Brazil won the pair's only World Cup meeting 3-0 in the 1998 group stage, and also claimed a 2-0 victory in a 1997 friendly. However, Morocco turned the tide in their most recent encounter, beating Brazil 2-1 in a 2023 friendly, a result that signaled the Atlas Lions' genuine arrival as a force capable of troubling the very best. That gives Brazil 2 wins to Morocco's 1, with no draws between the sides. MetLife Stadium, home to the NFL's New York Giants and Jets, is hosting 8 World Cup matches in total, including the final on July 19th. Built between 2008 and 2010 at a cost of $1.6 billion, it is one of the grandest sporting cathedrals in the United States and a fitting arena for this occasion. Tactically, this match sets up as a fascinating chess match between 2 very different philosophies. Brazil will look to dominate the ball and stretch play wide, while Morocco are expected to sit deep and hurt them on the counter. The defining duel of the game will almost certainly be Vinicius Jr. against Achraf Hakimi. Vinicius will run directly at Hakimi, one of the few fullbacks in world football possessing the raw recovery speed, physical strength, and tactical intelligence to match the Brazilian step for step. Whichever player wins this explosive duel will alter the entire landscape of Group C. In behind that battle, Rafinha's intelligent movement into vertical channels will test Morocco's midfield anchors, with Amrabat carrying the primary responsibility of preventing Brazil's number 10 from picking the ball up on the half-turn. Meanwhile, Brahim Diaz, who has scored 14 international goals in just 26 games, will be Morocco's primary creative outlet and a constant menace in the final third, if given space to operate between the lines. Brazil's greatest strength is their attacking depth. Even without Neymar, they possess world-class talent across every position. Their vulnerability, however, lies in an unsettled right-back situation and occasional defensive lapses in transition. Ancelotti himself warned after the Egypt friendly that his side lost focus for a brief period and paid the price, a concern that Morocco's lethal counterattacking setup will look to exploit. Morocco's strength is their deep defensive organization and the individual brilliance of Hakimi going forward. Their weakness is the coaching transition. Walid Regragui, the architect of their 2022 semi-final heroics, departed and has been replaced by Mohamed Ouabi, a youth specialist stepping into a senior World Cup opening fixture against Brazil as his first major test. On the World Cup stage, Brazil's history needs little introduction. The five-time champions last lifted the trophy in 2002 and are desperate to end that 24-year drought under their first-ever foreign manager. Morocco's best-ever performance came in Qatar 2022, when they became the first African nation to reach a World Cup semi-final, a historic run that changed the perception of African football forever. Their next ambition is to become the first African nation to win the World Cup entirely. Current market odds place Brazil as clear favorites at around -145 to win, the draw at +275, and Morocco as significant underdogs at +450. Translating that into probability, Brazil carry roughly a 57% chance of winning. The draw sits around 25%, and Morocco hold an 18% chance of a famous upset. This match should be cagey early, with neither side willing to overcommit in a group that still features Scotland and Haiti. But Brazil's class will eventually tell. The predicted scoreline is Brazil 2-0 Morocco, with Vinicius Jr. and Rafinha combining to dismantle Morocco's defensive structure in the second half as the Seleção take their first step toward ending one of football's longest title waits.